Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware. Mulch, topsoil, gravel, everything you need to get your yard in tip-top shape for this spring and summer. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125 is the phone number. The website is omnitruevalue.com. And we're looking at kind of a bit of an odd day, I guess we can say. We still have this storm system well out to the east now, and there is drier air up in New England where we're seeing a sunny day. However, because that storm's moved further east, we are seeing some of this traffic that's been to our west all week long and has had no chance really to move eastward, finally making some eastward progress. And as a result, we're getting some cloud cover mainly from New York City west and south that's coming in. There's not a whole lot with this in terms of precipitation. The other issue today is that we do have a south and southeast wind coming in off the cool ocean. So if you are east of New York City, for example, temperatures are generally in the 40s and low 50s. If you go from there west and south, particularly you go west of Philadelphia and the New Jersey state line into Pennsylvania, you have some warmer temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. But overall now, it's a south wind. You have rotation around the Great Lakes. And we also have a rather strong upper trough in the southern part here of the jet stream flow moving into Texas and points eastward. And that is going to generate severe weather in a big way later today and tonight. And we'll get to that in a second. I just want to show you what's on the radar as of 1 p.m. Eastern time. And in the east, there was a larger area of showers overnight into this morning that moved out of northeast Virginia into Maryland. That area has weakened considerably, but we do see those echoes on the radar in southern New Jersey, northwest through eastern Pennsylvania. Nothing especially heavy. Much of it is scattered in nature, and that continues to lift very slowly on up to the northeast. Another little batch of showers in central PA, again, mostly on the light side. And then as far as what's going on in the south, well, we've got some heavy showers and thunderstorms in southern Georgia down in the Florida Panhandle, but the area of concern is just west of there, and we're starting to see the first thunderstorms develop in northeast Texas and southern Oklahoma and Arkansas. And this is all part of the Storm Prediction Center's rather large area of risk today, a moderate risk of severe weather from southern Arkansas, northeastern Louisiana, into much of Mississippi, and you have enhanced risk through the state of Alabama. Once again, this is going to be an outbreak that is going to impact the same area that has already seen 3 other big outbreaks this spring. Weather has a memory in a sense. When a pattern gets set up in any season, it tends to repeat. There's also a small area of slight risk in southern Virginia, northeasternmost North Carolina, and all of that, of course, encased in an area of marginal risk that runs a little bit further north, extends up through parts of Indiana and western Ohio, and then, of course, goes all the way back down into Texas and down along the Gulf states. The area of severe weather risk for Saturday into Sunday shrinks a bit, but we do have a slight risk. Western Georgia, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, down into southern Mississippi and southeastern Louisiana, with a marginal risk pushing up a little bit further to the north into Ohio. And then on Sunday, a marginal risk from southeastern Virginia south into southern Georgia and northern Florida. An area of general thunderstorms possible, however, further north, encompassing our area of eastern Pennsylvania and to southern New England, down to Delaware, Maryland, and into northern Virginia. So a little bit of certainly severe weather action is going to be important today. Here's the situation. Of course, if you remember from the satellite view, again, you've got this big rotation here up in the Great Lakes, and then you have this second shortwave. That's the one that's amplifying. And one of the things that I always look for is the fact that you're going to see, if you're getting an upper air disturbance, a shortwave trough in the upper atmosphere, and it's amplifying, in other words, it's getting stronger, as you move through time and you are in that area where the amplification is taking place. This is where you do run the risk of some strengthening thunderstorm activity. It's kind of a different scenario as opposed to having already a strong system that's reached its peak and kind of moving eastward and then maybe starts to weaken. It's when they're strengthening that you have to be really careful that you could wind up with an outperformance in terms of the thunderstorms and in terms of the severe weather. We have a very strong jet that's evident here in this southern system that strengthens and reaches peak intensity tonight into tomorrow morning. And then as it moves eastward after that, this is where you start to see it kind of weaken a little bit. Most of the energy lifts more to the north than straight across the southern states, which is why the severe weather risk winds up shifting eastward the way it was indicated by the Storm Prediction Center. And in terms of rainfall over the next 7 days, in the northeast and northern mid-Atlantic states, particularly say from southern New England down into northeastern Virginia, it's mostly a half to 3/4 of an inch with maybe a few pockets getting a little bit more. Big rains along the Gulf Coast in that severe weather risk area of 3 to 5 inches or more. Also seeing some heavier precip on up into the Great Lakes. Also in and around Colorado and down into southern Wyoming. And there may be some snow issues here going into next week as the weather pattern kind of adjusts, or as I've been using the idea of the blocking pattern just sort of realigning itself, that is going to change things going forward. Now we'll take a look at the new GFS model here that's just out. We'll run quickly through the upper air. This is for tomorrow. Your system in the middle Mississippi Valley. On the upper right is another upper low, part of that blocky scenario that's out in the Atlantic. That sort of sits out there and just rotates around. And then you have all this energy that keeps moving eastward. Everything's positioned a little bit differently from what it was this past week, where we had all these wonderful, nice days of lots of sunshine. Instead, the block is further east, and as a result, we're going to start to see these weather systems coming in from the west and having some impact. I don't see this as a situation where we're going to be getting all-day rains, but there will be some areas of rain that we're going to have to contend with. I think the first one of importance, other than any scattered showers that we see this afternoon, the daytime Saturday should be okay. With, I would say, cloudy to partly sunny skies, depending on your location. Maybe more sun as you go east, maybe more clouds as you go west. And there's your low in the Midwest. Here comes some rain for Sunday morning into the afternoon. Some more showers Sunday night into Monday morning. Maybe a few scattered showers during the day on Monday into Monday night. And then Tuesday, again, these little ripples that keep moving eastward into that blocky pattern, producing occasional showers. And later Wednesday, Thursday, probably some kind of low that's going to try to form to our south. I'm not really going to get into whatever the GFS is doing, showing a little bit of wet snow there. Who knows if that's real or not. And lately, when this model has shown that, it's been bogus anyway. So we'll just focus on the idea that next week is going to be a much different week than what we had for what we just saw. Now, as far as high temperatures are concerned, again, for the rest of this afternoon, it's a bit of a struggle east into southern New England, 50s to low 60s. You go further inland and north, you start to get to 70s because the ocean impact lessens. Because of clouds, it's mostly upper 50s and low 60s as you head west and south. And then the occasional showers also creating some issues there. On Saturday, for tomorrow, if it's cloudy to partly sunny, we should, I think, get into the 60s without too much difficulty. Notice, by the way, back in western New York and into the Ohio Valley, looking at temperatures in the 80s. Sunday, with showers around, temperatures are going to be, I think, mostly in the upper 50s and lower 60s because of cloud cover and because of the showers that are going to be around, at least into the first part of Sunday morning. But we could see some improvement as you go to the west and south, and that's why we're seeing highs maybe from southeastern Pennsylvania, south central Pennsylvania on southward into Virginia could reach into the 70s, while temperatures up in New England will reach up into the 50s. And then next week, It's all going to depend on clouds and showers in terms of how temperatures are going to react, but don't expect any warm weather anytime soon after we get through the next couple of days. So, Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 631-756-1125. The website, omnitruevalue.com. So again, tonight the story is going to be about severe weather across the deep parts of the deep south and the lower Mississippi Valley, with that moderate risk there. By the way, in terms of tornado risk, it's a 10% risk of tornadoes. It's a 45% risk of destructive winds of 50 knots or higher. I think that's the winds may be the bigger issue here than tornadoes. But either way, we're still talking the potential for some big problems. We're going to cover this all tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:30 Eastern Time. I know I went a little long, but there was a lot of weather going on. We will hopefully see you tonight at 7:30.